I think the difference between Adele and Taylor is that Adele doesn't receive as much criticism as Taylor does.
No.
Actually, I would say nowhere near as much.
I agree.
Adele told Vogue in 2021, I definitely feel like when my life is spiraling out of control, I want to be in the studio. It's my safe space. We give Adele the grace to do that. But when it comes to Taylor, why is that not the same? Now, I think it's probably because Taylor dates celebrity men.
It's partly that.
And her fans then speculate that this song is about this person, even though one is literally called Dear John. But it could be about Nigel Farage. We don't know.
I actually would put my money on that. But I also think the average age of a Taylor listener is a lot younger than an Adele.
True.
And they engage more in like stan culture wars on Twitter and all that kind of thing. Every time there is any...
Well, you say that. You say that.
Adele? What 14-year-olds are listening to Adele? They're not the ones who buy her albums.
True.
I feel like...
True.
Every like pop culture news thing on Twitter, the first reply will be someone going, Taylor outsold. Taylor sold more. Your fave flopped. Taylor's better. And I do think that sometimes people who align themselves so strongly as Swifties have given her fan base en masse a bad rep.
So that now has like a life of its own outside of the music.
Agreed. And I also think that the whole thing about the criticism for the songs and being self-absorbed, whatever, with Taylor is less to do with the songs themselves and more to do with where people are at with their perception of the artist. So Adele is held higher in public favour. I feel in general the average person would go, yeah, I love Adele. British, American, whatever. Yeah, Adele's great.
Yeah.
Whereas with Taylor now, it's almost become such a personality trait that you either love her or you go, I'm so sick of Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I don't think there are that many people in the middle.
If you are with an artist, just know they use you for art, whether good, bad, ugly. That is what art is. It's reflecting life. So you can't be mad at Taylor, but you kind of know what you're getting when you're getting into it with Taylor.
Whereas with an Adele one, other than Rich, they've been so unknown and people are struggling to pinpoint
who it is.
That, even when she was married to Simon Konecki, we don't know exactly which one, because we know so little about their relationship that I guess you'd imagine, other than maybe personally, emotionally, it's not that detrimental to any of the blokes she's dated, because no one really knows what's related to what. And she's not written a scathing one and you're like, well, you must have been an arsehole then, because look at these lyrics. We can't match it.
Exactly, because it's more so to do with her feelings during the breakup
than what you did.
There's no specifics of like, you slept with my best friend and then you did this.
You're right, and Taylor's songs are more like that. Her lyrics are a lot more kind of, and then you made me feel like this, and I wasn't supposed to cry at 15. And I shouldn't have been made to feel like this, and my dad had to pick me up from the front porch.
Jesus, they're like that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Shake it off.
It's all very, very much that. Wow. But it's very like, remember when this happened, like All Too Well, which is thought to be about Jake Gyllenhaal. It was a 10-minute song that ended up going #1. It was basically 3 minutes, and then when she was doing all her vault tracks, because every time she's re-released and re-recorded, she adds extra things in. It's one of my favourites. It's so good.
Wow.
But that is 10 minutes of her being like actual things that happened. There was a scarf, and then we dropped this keychain that said the patriarchy on it, and then you weren't supposed to do that to me, and I remember it all. The whole thing's that I remember it all too well. So she's basically recounting for 10 minutes all the horrid things he did. Yeah.
But also, I can see why the fans are obsessed with that, because if you're a detail-oriented person, like I... Also, kind of...
It makes for fun singing along as well, because it's like real, tangible things.
Oh, they both do... Oh, you are convincing me to go into Taylor's...
Honestly, being at the Eras tour and singing the whole 10-minute version...
That is hilarious.
And she introduces it by going, has anyone got a spare 10 minutes? And everyone goes, it's All Too Well!
Wow.
And it was so... Because it's one of those songs that everybody knows the lyrics to. Like, all the Taylor Swift fans... I don't know every Taylor lyric ever, but I know all the words to the 10-minute version of All Too Well, and it goes off.
Okay, so in that case, poor Jake, but as a fan, I'd be lapping that up.
In it. I do think what unites both... I guess I actually don't think Adele does get much criticism, but I think in general, there is some truth to what Taylor said about it being a bit sexist, in that Ed Sheeran, The Weeknd, Bruno Mars, nobody's moaning at them for writing a love story about an ex-flame. I think there is something to that, of being like, oh, the whiny woman.
I'm just thinking, when I hear Ed Sheeran, Bruno, The Weeknd, and I don't know if this is just me, but I don't take it as real life. I don't take it as theirs. I don't take it as their story. Is that bad? I don't know.
Not bad, but I think
that weird?
I think you've lost
Why
the
do I
plot
do-
a bit, yeah. Because like,
Why do I do that?
like maybe again it's because it's not detail oriented. So like with Bruno, for instance, like I Catch a Grenade for You.
Yeah.
It's just so generic of like, oh.
Yeah.
Whereas with Taylor's, it's listen. Taylor's are basically a diary entry.
I think that's maybe the difference. And I'm not saying it's not rooted in sexism. It definitely is, because they're all writing about their previous relationships and using them as springboards into their art or whatever. But when I personally, Sarel, when I listen to a Bruno Mars song, I'd Catch a Grenade for You was written by him and 3 other songwriters in my head.
Right.
Like,
it's a beautiful night, looking for something to do. I want to marry you.
Yeah. It's not about anything specific.
No.
I'm not pinpointing. Even The Weeknd and who was he dating? Bella Hadid. I don't know if
Bella Hadid.
I don't know if any of the songs are about her, but again, I wouldn't even think that. I know they've broken up now, but like, I wouldn't be like, oh, he wrote this about Bella. I'd just be like, him and 4 other songwriters got together on a Tuesday night and
made a fortune,
wrote a banger.
Yeah.
But I don't know why my brain does that. But I feel like I need to. I'm speaking from a place of slight ignorance. I need to go and listen to Taylor's diary entry songs, because I'm just listening to the Shake It Off, Shake It Off, and then maybe I can.
Most of my favourite Taylor songs aren't singles. That's actually the joy of Taylor stuff.
Right. Okay.
I'd say in my top 10, there's like 2 that are singles, maybe. I'll make you a little play.